Britton, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you ready to get started here?
Yeah.
All right, so my first question for you is, how did you get into soccer?
Um, it was a long time ago, so it's kind of hard to remember completely how it happened. But I was like every other little kid, played a whole bunch of sports growing up, and
Hmm.
then soccer was just kind of the one I gravitated towards. So just ended up my dad and on his side of the family, they were big soccer players. He has two brothers, and so he was kind of pushing me in that direction a little bit. But yeah, I just grew up playing a bunch of sports, and then soccer was the one that stuck.
Okay. And when did you know that you wanted to go pro?
I mean, knew from super young, like I feel like there's a bunch of little kids that all want to be professional athletes, and I felt like I was the same way. If I wasn't completely sure if it was going to be soccer off the off the rip, but after a while, and I kind of felt like that was my best avenue. But yes, super early, I knew I wanted to go pro.
Okay. Who would you say your biggest influence slash mentor has been throughout your career so far?
Definitely my parents. Like I feel like that's a pretty common answer for a lot of
Yeah.
people, but they were definitely there 100% of the way. So they were always kind of guiding me and pushing me, and also helping me in different ways. Like when I was growing up, I lived kind of far away from. I was like an hour and a half away from the club I was playing at, and they'd drive me every day, and wouldn't complain about taking me down to South Carolina or up to Virginia or whenever I needed to go somewhere for a game. So I definitely say them.
What has your favorite moment throughout your career been so far?
Oh, there's been a lot of good ones. Definitely my pro debut was one to remember in Richmond when I was 17, and then uh, playing a couple friendly games for the first team in Minnesota was nice as well. It was the first time I played in front of like a nice big crowd with a lot of not pressure but kind of that spark to it. Those are always ones you remember.
Yeah.
So probably had to say my debut or one of those friendly games.
Okay. And how do you prepare for match, whether that's physically or mentally?
Um, Mentally, I'm still trying to figure out that side. I feel like that's a big part of being a pro is
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to be consistent mentally every week. But physically, I just try to keep it pretty simple. I like to like on game. We have a game tomorrow, so like on a normal game day, just wake up, like make sure I'm eating the right foods. Like I really like Jersey Mike sub pregame, so I always
Okay.
go to that, and then trying to like I've found that like getting up and moving and being a little more active throughout the day helps me. Like if we have an evening game, like
Hmm.
getting up and not just like sleeping all day or lounging around, like trying to get out and go on a walk or something like that just to get loose, I feel like really helps me.
Okay. What is the best advice that you've received throughout your career, whether that's from a coach or a parent?
Um, s- I was told one time by a coach, uh, I can't remember exact wording, but basically it's if you do one good thing, you can do it again. And I feel like that helped me a lot because it's like sometimes you feel like you may not be able to recreate exactly like if you have a good game or a good moment, you may not be able to exactly recreate that. But if you were able to do it once, you're able to do it again. So
Yeah.
keeping that kind of in the back of your mind at all times, like if you had one good game, you can have another good game is I feel like is one of the best bits of advice I got.
Okay. What has been the biggest challenge in your career so far? And follow up, how did you overcome that challenge?
Yeah, so when I my second year pro, I was still at North Carolina, and they they were kind of telling me the whole point of being there was kind of to move on. So I went overseas during preseason to a couple different clubs in Europe, and went on trial there with a couple clubs and had like a really poor experience. Like didn't play well, didn't gain any interest from any of the clubs. Like kind of like the best way I can say is just kind of went over there and kind of failed.
Hmm.
So coming back, I was definitely in my head about that because I had high hopes and high expectations going into that. But yeah, it was a long road to to overcoming that, but it's just about like kind of the one earlier where if you had one good game, you can have another good game. Kind of having confidence in myself, like what got me to that point and what can take me further. So it was kind of just learning to retrust myself again and know that I had the ability to do what I wanted to do. I just had to go do it, basically.
Yeah. What has been your favorite stadium or field that you've played on?
Um, Definitely Allianz Arena in Minneapolis or St. Paul.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the home field for the biggest team I've been on so far.
Yeah.
I've played in a couple cool ones here and there. I really enjoy going to Portland and playing in their stadium in downtown Portland. St. Louis has a pretty nice stadium that I've played in before. But yeah, nothing really beats Allianz so far.
What does a typical training week look like for you?
It depends week to week, but for the most part, we're in maybe 4 or 5 days out of the week. Um, get in. Usually, it's pretty typical to get in like 8:30 in the morning. Just do some normal stuff like eat breakfast at the club. Do like prehab, like stretching, all the rest. Go out and train for maybe like an hour and a half, and then come back in, do gym or whatever. But we'll usually have about one off day throughout the week.
Hmm.
Just depends on the coach and the club. Kind of maybe it might be like a Thursday or a Wednesday that we kind of have off, and then on the weekends usually a game like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday game, one of the three, and then depending on which day it is, what's the following day might be off. But yeah, training maybe 5 days a week, the game one day, and then an off day in there too.
Do those ever get like super intense? Like where you do
Yeah,
like,
it can. Yeah, it definitely can be. Like this week, we were just in Louisville on Saturday, and then we play at home tomorrow, and then at home on Saturday. So weeks where the games start to pile up can definitely be stressful because you want to get a good training load throughout the week, but you also want to be fresh for the weekends and the games and stuff like that. So it can get a bit hectic and a bit much, but when you the older you get, the better you know how what your body needs and figure out how to navigate those
yeah.
weeks.
What are your thoughts on the US versus Belgium game yesterday?
I thought it wasn't great. I had high expectations for the U.S. after the couple group stage games, and even doing well against Bosnia. I was super excited, and I was super disappointed to see how it all ended out. I think there was a couple guys that didn't step up to the plate fully, but it's not easy on a big stage like that, and there was so much expectations around them, and it just builds the pressure even more and more. And if you're not
Yeah.
completely used to all that, it can get to you. But yeah, I was super disappointed to see how it ended. I'm still happy with how they did. Like I think the expectations before the World Cup were for them to come in, make it out of the group stage, and win a knockout game. So and they did that. So and that part I'm happy for them, and I think they did well. But yeah, just kind of sad to see how it ended.
Yeah, me and my friends were following that because we had a baseball game yesterday and we were just scrolling on our phones in the dugout, just waiting for
Yeah,
the US to score, but it never happened.
yeah, they had a chance early to make it competitive. They tied at 1-1 right there in the end of the first half, but
Hmm.
then they just conceded right after that, and that's a killer. That's like
Yeah.
you build up all this momentum, you bring it back level, and then concede. I think it was like 5 minutes later. That's a no go.
What are some things that you like to do for fun when you're not playing slash practicing?
I have a couple different hobbies. I play a bit of golf. I'm not any good at it, but there's some guys on the team that play as well, so we go out and play
Hmm.
golf a lot and frisbee golf as well. Just
Okay.
do that every now and then, and I enjoy a bunch of different stuff. Like I go fishing sometimes. I'm I've got these drones. I'm starting to get into like flying drones and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's just like I pick up little hobbies here and there, and we'll do them for like a month and then get rid of them. But yeah, I think the ones that kind of stick around are just like any outdoor activity, golfing, fishing, anything like that.
Do you ever play any video games?
Oh yeah, yeah, I play video games as well.
Are
Play
you
a bit of video games.
are you in the video game? The soccer video game?
Oh, FIFA? No. I think you have to make your MLS debut. So I've made my first team debut, but not in the league yet.
Okay.
So I think once I'm able to make my debut in the league, then you get put in the game. But yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later that happens.
What club are you playing for right now?
So I'm on loan at this team called Hartford Athletic in
Okay.
Hartford, Connecticut, but I'm under contract still with Minnesota United.
Yeah.
So they have my contract, but they sent me here so that I could get more minutes, game minutes.
So is that just semi-professional, just like minor leagues in
No,
baseball? Or
Hartford's still professional. It's just like the second tier.
okay.
It's called the USL Championship. It's like the second tier under MLS. So MLS, like Minnesota United would be the MLS, which is like the
Yep.
top one, which is like the league like Messi plays in and all the rest. And then uh, USL Champ is the one right underneath it. So it's still professional. Like everybody on my team is are still pro athletes, but uh, it's just the level below.
Sorry, I'm not very into soccer. I'm just kind of getting into it now.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's hard to pick up at first because it's so much different than like the other sport. Like I kind of
Yeah.
compare it to like whenever I tell some people, I tell it's like the NBA and the G League kind of.
Okay. What my last question for you is, what advice would you give to someone trying to get into soccer?
Um, I to be honest, if you were trying to get into soccer, I would say get into FIFA, like the video games. That's how I got into it as a kid, and you end up like you might lose a little bit of touch with like reality, if that makes sense, because it's obviously a video game. Like you're
Yeah.
not like you might see a card on FIFA and think, "Oh, this guy's sick," but in real life, he might just be okay. But
Hmm.
the game was what got me into it, honestly. Like watching YouTube videos of people playing the game myself, like building the team. It it brings in like a different excitement for it, and then from there it's easier, I feel like, to transition into actually watching the sport and picking up. Well, if also like if you were trying to get into it playing the sport also, like I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Like if you were to play the sport, you're obviously gonna find a little more appreciation for it. But
Yeah.
yeah, those two things.
I guess I have one more question for you. Where did you originally
Yeah,
grow up?
I grew up in Greenville, North Carolina.
How did you make that adjustment going from North Carolina all the way up to Minnesota?
Yeah, it was hard. I um So when I first came up to Minnesota, it was the middle of January, I think, in like maybe 2024.
Oh, that's the best time to be
And
here.
yeah, and I was walking around. I had an experience like in North Carolina, it snows every now and then, but it's not like maybe once a year it will snow for like a day.
Yeah.
And it will be like 2 inches of snow, and the whole city shuts down. Like everybody, nobody goes to school, nobody leaves the house. Like, and I came here and I hopped off the plane and I was like, I don't know what I just got myself into. I had like a sweatshirt on, sweatpants, and I was so cold. And they took me to they have like dorms that we were staying in or whatever. I stayed in this
Mhm.
dorm for like a month, and I didn't have my car or anything like that because I was just coming up for
Yeah.
just a bit to see like if I would make the jump or not. And I started one day. I had a backpack, and I don't know if you know where NSC is in Blaine. The
I
NSC, the National Sports Complex.
I don't think so, but I have cousins up there.
Yeah, so that's where we were at. We were up there in Blaine, and there was like a Target. It was less than a mile, and I started walking to this Target, and I thought I was gonna have to call like an ambulance to pick me up on the side of the road because my I couldn't feel my hands. I was getting dizzy, like I was so cold, and like I was like I don't know if I can actually do this or not. But eventually, I mean, it took me. I'm still not adjusted to it, to be honest. Like I still
Hmm.
hate the cold when I'm there, but it's gotten a little better over the last couple of years of dealing with it. But yeah, it was definitely a rough jump.
Well, that's all I've got for you, Britton. Thank you.
Yep.
Also,